Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another NIKKE set of reactions. Today we have Pursuit and Pursuit Time Limit. These were requested by TDL in the comments of last video, and that's about all I know. I do know that these are from NIKKE because I saw the uploads. They're on their own, like, separate uploads, not one that Cosmograph put together on his own channel, so there is going to be a gap there, of course, but either way, I'm just going to be listening to these and seeing what they're all about, so without further ado, let's go! Okay, right away. That was immediate. Woo. Oh, that drum part is tasty. I'm loving those like feathered double pedals. That's great. The little like brap that's in there, that's, oh, it's so good. Kick it up to a double time, you gotta. Woo-hoo. NieN, come on. I think what's sick is, like, in that last section, I could hear where there could have been some neat, like, riff moments, but he didn't throw them in there. Probably because it doesn't really need it. That's one of those things I love about NIKKE. They always know exactly when to give or withhold that extra spice on the guitar. I'm air drumming now, like. Ah, God, I love that pattern. Ah, it's so good. That is so clean. Oh. Like that, too. I'm speaking in guitar. I also love that you can hear the gaps in the drums too. Just even if they're programmed, which is possible, paying attention to that. The placement of where the hands would be and not having stuff play when you wouldn't be able to play that. It adds so much to a track when you write the song as if all the parts were being played by people in real life. Even if you're doing a programmed, like all programmed part song, even if you're just a guitarist and you don't know how to play the drums, pay attention to how people play their instruments. What is realistic and doable to the instrumentalist that would be playing it if it were a live recording. For things like this did that. I'm not entirely sure how much NIKKE does on their own. I'm not sure if NIKKE actually plays the drums and therefore knows how this works, or if they've just heard enough drums and worked with enough drummers that they're paying attention to those sorts of details. And whatever the case may be, it is an insanely important factor to how good NIKKE's music feels. The riffs, brilliant, just face melters. I love the riffs, but really what made this one stand out to me was how organic it felt, even if not all the parts were. I couldn't tell, which is exactly the factor you want to protect. It was the little details in the drums, like specifically some of the grooves they were doing. They were going off of the hi-hat, they went away from the hi-hat, would use that elsewhere. Like they would hit the cymbals on the other side of the kit, or what would be on the other side of the kit, and left the hi-hat alone. They had like little accents of it in between. And that's how I play as a drummer. I will hit the hi-hat, go over, hit some crash cymbals, and come back to the hi-hat and use that as like an intermittent hit while keeping the groove going. It's just part of how drummers flow sometimes. It's just something that I personally do a lot. I also know a lot of drummers who don't do that and will like fully commit to the other side of the kit when they do that sort of thing and adapt to other cymbals available over here. It all depends on your layout, depends on your flow, but for me, I do that a lot. I love using the hi-hat in between crash cymbals. It's just a thing I do, and I loved hearing it in this song, because not only did I feel a little bit of myself in the song and in the drums, but I could feel the song breathing better because of it. I could feel those little intricate changes in the song just without even paying attention. You can feel those. Even if you're not a drummer or a guitarist, you can tell when there's something that feels a little bit off, you know, something that's just not quite there. Sometimes it's harder if you're not a player of the instrument yourself. Like a lot of programmed guitar stuff can definitely fool me because I don't know what playing a guitar is like. I don't play the guitar. However, you give me a drum kit and I can tell you most times, unless it's really well programmed like this one, if it's somebody who's just using programmed drums. And that's fine. Like I said earlier, you can use program stuff, but if you're going to program any part, make sure that you do it in a way that feels real, organic, and even if that means going on YouTube and watching a few drummers play, pick a drummer, pick a few drummers, and study their style, what they're doing with their hands, what they can and cannot physically do is very important to the flow of a song. And this song nailed that vibe. Absolutely 100%. Now I have to go hear what the other version of this song is, and now that I've heard this, I'm very excited to see what that has in store, so let's go! Oh, it just like the last one, it starts right away. It probably kicks in right off the end of the other one. It's kind of weird hearing, like, a secondary version that's not, like, produced by Cosmograph and not remixed by him. Because this just sounds like the second part of the first song instead of a remix like they usually do. It is really similar. Ooh. Really heavy focus on the bass guitar in that moment. Ooh. God, you could really hear the texture of that bass in there. Yeah, this was produced by a guitarist for sure. I think this might be the first time I've ever heard a bass that clearly in really any song, not just from NIKKE, but like in all the game stuff I've listened to, aside from like funk songs, because funk always has a heavy bass line, always the funkiest. And it's just such a good accent to the rhythm guitar in here. That heavy chug, that like genty thickness, just all zeros. Oh, quick fill there. Again, I love the patterning too. The kick patterns are fantastic. And like again, right here, that bass is so heavy. I wonder if that Because that bass has such a notable, like, attack to it. I wonder if it was played with a pick, like, actually played. I'm pretty sure NieN is actually a guitarist, so that would not shock me if he actually threw in a real bass. Most do play bass because if you're playing guitar, you're playing bass as well. All right, so that one was also equally as sick. It had a lot of awesome bits in there, but at the same time, it was just a continuation of the prior song. So unlike the usual case where I'll talk about the remix and how they vary and what Cosmograph did to it to improve or borrow from the original version to adapt to a new sound, this doesn't really have that and is pretty much truly just part 2 of the first part. So I don't really think there's anything I can or need to add on top of what I already said. That was mostly what I wanted to say. This song is just really good. I did already talk about all the bass stuff. I thought that was really cool that was like very pushed up in this section of the song, which is awesome. I love hearing a heavy bass. I feel like a lot of people, a lot of producers like nestling their bass down into the mix to where you really don't necessarily hear it, you just feel it. And for the like grit of this one, it had such a good bite to it. I'm really glad that he threw that in there, but that's really the only notable difference between the two songs, was that I could tell that the bass was there, and otherwise it's effectively the same riffs, the same great drum kicks. I love that. The kick, again, the patterning on that double kick was just so fun. It was like a machine gun sputtering to life. It was so sick. But I already said most of what I wanted to say in that first bit, so I will end the video here instead. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you have another song you want me to get to from NIKKE, by all means drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if you just enjoyed this video and you want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!